Hello, people. Wait a few minutes and give some time for people to come in here. How's everybody doing this morning? I've been up since like 7. I went to bed pretty early last night. Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing today? My house is in shambles still yet. Hi, Hank. I need to work on housekeeping today. I didn't do that too much I didn't do much of anything on my freaking vacation, so I got to do it on my days off. I'm all right. Hi, Toddy.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you, too. Yeah. It's been a day already.
Sounds like it from what
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just people are just so shady today. Even with as much of a lack of barrier of communication. You would think with all the communication that we have today, the options for communication, that it would be better, and it's not. It's worse. Because and I hear this all the time. And if you sell on Facebook Marketplace, you know what I'm talking about. Because you have these people that say, "Oh, I'm interested." And some of them, yes, there are like, not interested. They accidentally click the button or whatever. But then you have other people that will, ask you very intent questions about the item or whatever, and then all of a sudden they disappear. It's called ghosting. And but then you have, other people that will make up excuses as to why they don't want the item now. And online dating's the same way. It's it's um it's so shady. Aren't you glad you don't have to go through that, Todd? Because you have a beautiful wife that you've been with for years. How long have you guys been together?
I can't remember that far back.
It's been that long, huh?
1970. No, wait, 1980. 1980.
Oh, really? So I was thinking it was going to be longer than that.
Well, we've been married more than a third of a century,
Right,
so
right. It's a long time. Don't get me wrong. It's been a long time.
yeah. So, but no, I robbed the cradle. I was 30 when we got married.
Oh,
So, yeah.
good job. Fish and Pickett says, I know, right? The girls at the bar ghost me after a few drinks. Yeah, they're just trying to get their drink on. And there's, a girl goes with intentions. you know, at the bar. She goes either to have a good time with her friends or to meet somebody or just to have a drink. You know, she knows what she's going there for. And doesn't if she doesn't want to meet a guy, she's not going to. She's not gonna, she's not gonna try. But yeah, I mean, it's and I think that's different than, what it used to be. I think used to, it was more about getting to know each other. And if that's, going on dates, talking on the phone, you just, it, you almost, I don't know, for me, it's like I would, be so intent on like, on learning about a person. And I didn't want to do anything else, but I have a very addictive personality. So, um, if I thought something was going to work out with a guy, I would, you know, good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Beth. Morning, Hank. How are you today? Um, but I would do everything I could to learn about a person and, and by the time it was time to have like a relationship, we were friends. And I knew a lot about this person. I was really lucky with Brandon because I met him on a chat group on my phone in 2004. So, but we were together from like 2004 to 2010, and then we got married in 2010. But I mean, it was a very short time that we talked, and then he moved out to California. It was only like a matter of 4 weeks, maybe. But we had a lot in common.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, fishing and picking. I mean, everybody. I'm not going to say everybody does that, but like, there's there's people that did, uh, just what is it called? Whenever you screw. just not one night stand. That's what I was trying to say. One night stand. People knew that's all that was gonna be there.
Booty call.
Right. um, and I had one of those relationships too, where it was just booty call, and we were together for like 5-6 months. But he lived in LA, and he would come all the way from LA. It was like a 4-hour drive from LA to my house, and he would come pick me up, and then we would usually drive, another hour or so somewhere to a hotel, and we would just hook up for a couple of days, and then we wouldn't see each other for a good month or something. But now it's like, that's within the first hour, so he says, okay, you'll work, come on. I don't want to be your friend or nothing, but
Yeah.
Mission Picker says, Steven, your pockets jingle when you're single.
I am no expert on relationships, that's for sure.
I'm not either. I'm not. I'm not. And all I can tell my son is, my experiences, with
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And it's not, I didn't have a whole lot of boyfriends, even in the time that I was single, but I was with, you know, um, Job and Jonah's dad, since I was 15. I dated him uh, until I was 18. I moved out of the house and moved up to Washington to be with him. And, and we were together until Jonah was about 4. And then shortly after we broke up, and there was times in between that time that, we weren't together, um, but then, since then, I probably only had like 3 or 4 boyfriends since I was with him, but I don't know. I did everything backwards. And so I'm definitely not a relationship guru or anything. All I can say is what I experienced and what I know to be true. And I, you know, I know that he's a very loving, compassionate person, and he's a good looking kid. He's not ugly. He's not, he doesn't have an ugly personality, and there's going to be somebody that one day meets him and they're never going to look it back because they're going to be like, man, I found such a great guy.
Yeah.
It's hard to find somebody with a good heart these days. Hi, Liz.
I don't think my youngest will ever find anybody.
You don't think so? Does he
He
had
just
girlfriends?
he just not looking.
Well, that's when you find somebody.
I guess he doesn't look, and
But does he
so
put
there's
himself in situations to find somebody?
no.
That's yeah. See, and that's a lot of the problem with Jonah too is he doesn't really put himself out there, and when you don't put yourself out there to meet people, I mean, how's it going to happen, Yeah, that's the hard part right there is um finding somebody when you're not, you don't have to be looking, but if you're not, putting yourself into situations where you're meeting people, then that's the problem.
Yep.
But I thought it was I didn't know that Gwen's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
Um and yesterday was also my stepmother's birthday and my mother-in-law's birthday.
Yep. And Gwen says thank you to all the little Facebook messages on my Facebook.
I hope she had a good birthday.
I need to respond to those. She got so many on hers. Yeah, I put Gwen's picture on my Facebook page yesterday, and I got 70 likes and 42 comments.
That's awesome.
And then she got all that stuff on hers. So
Mhm.
it takes a
Yeah.
while to filter through all the. Anyway, if
Oh
you
yeah.
said
Well, you could just
happy
do a
birthday to
math.
Gwen, if y'all said the happy birthday to Gwen yesterday, thank you. She may not get. She is very busy with her one act play and school teaching right now. So
Bridget, dear, wave at me, please. Thank you.
You're being real I don't blame you.
Hi, Bridget. Is your heart broken this morning too?
No.
We're
No.
having Doctor. What was her name? The
Ruth.
relationship
Dr. Ruth.
doctor. We're having
Oh,
Dr. Ruth morning.
the sex doctor.
That's what we need is some Dr. Ruth.
Oh.
She
Hi.
was so shocking to me when she first came out because she would talk about
Oh yeah, she didn't care.
the. Did you stimulate his penis? You know, and I'm like, what did you just say? Oh my God. This little old
Let me see
somebody that looks like your grandma is talking like,
Yeah.
But Todd,
yeah. I can barely hear you, Bridget.
can you hear me now?
Get closer to the
You're
microphone.
a little low.
Huh. Hold on. Let me.
Anyway,
Okay. Anyway, Todd,
yes.
did you ever think you'd be saying that on a live YouTube video with tons of people watching?
Saying what? That I thought Dr. Ruth was.
Well, no,
No.
what you just said.
Did you stimulate his penis?
Yeah, I mean, she would just blurt out stuff like that, and you're like, oh my God, lady.
She
And
was
there
the first.
wasn't anything wrong with it, but to just, I don't know, it was just so.
You weren't used to people speaking their mind, or even just her saying vagina. It was like, oh, she said vagina. Wow.
Yeah, I grew up with Leave It to Beaver and Walter Cronkite, and they didn't talk like that.
Yeah.
You know.
But she's the first person ever that I heard talk about the G spot too. So I think she was very knowledgeable. I think she knew
Yeah.
what she was talking about.
But anyway, okay, back to reselling. How are your sales?
Oh my God.
My sales were good.
Mine are
Yeah,
average.
mine are in the toilet
Aw.
because I didn't list yesterday.
Well,
I need this fourth quarter to start kicking in.
Yeah, I need to start listing more.
I'm still selling stuff, but it's just, geez.
yeah. Yeah. I'm still selling stuff, but I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm on my phone, so I can't see chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I have packing I have to do. I did go to I bid on stuff on the online auction, the one I showed you, Todd, with the watches. I didn't win the watches, but I won a couple things, and one thing I sold a day after I listed it, and it paid for the whole auction.
Wow.
It was a Brevetta coffee espresso machine.
Mm-hmm.
Got it for $84, and it sold for I think $250 or $270, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I sold 3 boxes of tennis balls for $120.
Were they made of gold?
No, they were just vintage tennis balls.
They were just old.
Yep. And then I still have like a ton of stuff to sell from that. Like we have cans.
This show is always about the good balls.
Yeah, and you have the best balls we've ever seen.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, nobody can hear me, so I'm gonna get out and come back in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I could hear her. I just had to really focus on what she was saying.
I could just barely hear her, but Gwen says I'm losing my hearing, which I think I am a little bit.
Hi, bum crack.
I stood in front of too many drum lines teaching marching band.
Yeah.
Kind of blew me out. Gwen will say, "Did you hear that?" I'll say, "What?"
Yeah. I mean, our walls aren't thick by any means, and I'll be in the bathroom, and Brandon can be in the bathroom, and he can turn on our box, our TV box, the Roku thing. He can turn that on with his phone. He has a remote on his phone. And so he says, "Can you hear that?" And I'm like, no. Wave at me, Bridget.
What was my favorite halftime performance?
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
No.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't know. Say something, Bridget.
Well, I'm on my laptop now, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little better.
I think it's better.
My favorite halftime performance was 1997 Texas State Marching Band Championships. I took my band and we tied for 4th place.
Wow.
And my favorite song, probably March Grandioso. It's
Did you guys ever go to
marching band march.
Did you guys ever go to Macy's Day Parade or anything like that?
No, I
No.
was taught small school, and it would cost a lot of money to send
Oh yeah.
a band to the Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah. That ours was like the I don't know. Our band was the shit. And so they got to go to Macy's Day Parade. The I can't remember what that one is called that's in Pasadena. Pasadena. I don't think it's called the Pasadena Parade. It's called something else, but it's in Pasadena. But it's a famous parade.
Yeah, the Rose Parade. But yeah, I always taught in farming communities, and farmers always think their economy is horrible.
Hi, Larry.
So
Hello.
Hey, Lauren.
for you to take their kids to a faraway place for a performance, they would have thought that was extravagant, and I would not have gotten approval from my administration to go. Even if we could raise enough money to go, yeah, that would be seen as extravagant. So, but we did a lot of regional festivals, I taught in the panhandle of Texas, so it was about 400 miles to go to the Colorado Springs music festival in the springtime, or down the road to one of the music festivals in Dallas, and then head off to Six Flags after the performance is over with. That
that's
we did
fun.
we did a lot of that kind of thing.
That's cool.
That's why I hate theme parks now, is because every time I've been to one, I've had to chase 70 kids around
Makes sense.
Get on the bus, get off the bus, get in the hotel, get out the hotel. No, girls can't go in the boys' rooms. No, boys can't go in the girls' rooms. No, you can't knock on my hotel door at 2 a.m. and tell me you're sick. Oh, God.
That's one.
So, yeah. Mr. Parker, Dan is throwing up in the bed in the hotel room, and I have to share the bed with him. What do you want me to do? I don't know. Sleep on the floor. Get out. He shouldn't have had 84 slushies at Six Flags. It's his own fault.
Or whatever kind of alcohol they snuck in that room.
Yeah. And Mr. Parker, Susie called me a name. And my life is over. Yeah, your life is over. Your life is over, Julie. You're just gonna die right here.
And one time at band camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time at band camp, when they snuck a bottle of vodka that they'd taken syringes and squirted in their oranges.
Oh my God.
Hi, Bum Crap. How you doing?
Why are you throwing up oranges? They're a nice, healthy fruit.
Because we made portable screwdrivers.
Get on this phone and call your parents and tell them what you've done.
Good morning.
Hi, Tom.
Okay.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, we always
Vodka and his oranges. Here comes Tom.
we always got an extra hotel room for somebody that would misbehave. They couldn't stay by them. They couldn't stay with anybody else.
Good morning, Bridget. Good morning, Todd. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, Lori.
Good
Hi.
morning, everybody.
Hi, Tom.
Morning. Good morning.
Welcome to the Dr. Ruth Hour.
Okay.
Don't get him started about stimulating his penis again.
I'm doing all right.
Good morning,
Bum Crap.
Fish. Good morning, Bumcrack. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Joanna.
Attacking the sinuses as usual.
Good morning, Stephen.
Yeah. Fishing the twirler. Yeah, we had twirlers. And the twirlers were usually okay and their moms were horrible. It's like putting up with cheerleader moms.
You should
Cheerleader
try
moms.
dance moms.
Why doesn't my
hey,
girl get to be the lead twirl every once in a while? Why is it always Susan? My girl's
I
good
know.
as Susan is.
I know. They're little darlings.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah. You don't want to take out a towel and go whack.
My senior year of high school, we changed from traditional making formations and that kind of stuff to more of what did they call it?
drum corps style.
Drum corps style. Thank you.
Yeah.
They have them
And
back in the 40s?
we had some divas. We had some divas in our twirlettes, and
Let's.
and there was our band director, and which I had a different band director. My senior year, the one before that retired. He must have been 100 years old. Anyway, our new band director got a phone call from one of the twirlet's moms and was giving him hell about, he ought to rotate, each girl should do a point in the routine where she stands out. Anyway, he told her, he said, look, if it was up to me, we wouldn't even have twirlets. We're a completely different style band now, or, a marching band now. And then she really got mad. Well, I'm going to have to talk to the school board about that.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how many times I've heard that statement.
Well, you know what?
We had that in dance when Lacey started dancing. She just happened to be better than one of the so-called better girls. Yeah. And that mom went into the studio owner and said, how can you give Lacey that spot? She's not even financially level-wise as me and my daughter are. And
Ooh.
I was outside the door and I heard it. I poked my head and I said, money can't fix two left feet. I'm sorry. There you go. So no matter how much money you have, it can't fix that or stupid. So you both are screwed. So
Both screwed.
Yeah, some dance. My daughter was in like competitions all over New York State, but she was always like when she was 6, she was in with like the 9-10-year-olds, you know.
Mhm.
And oh yeah, we heard it all the time.
That's Lacey. I mean, Lacey was like, she was 9 and she was dancing with the 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, she's good. She could still do it.
Todd,
And they were terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like
knowing these two women like we know them now, don't you know they were some witches for being dance moms?
I really didn't have much to do with them. I mean, we would go travel to competitions all like, you know, but we all had our own hotel rooms and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. I didn't really have much to do with them.
Well, I didn't want to bust somebody in the mouth in front of my daughter because that's what I felt like doing, but I had to learn to control my temper. So I found other ways to get back at them. So it was usually with the sharp tongue. So, and they usually put them in their place. And the fact that I was usually a foot taller than half of them, I just get in their face and say, "What'd you say about my daughter?" You know.
Well,
would you
my
like to be
daughter was,
would you like to be out underneath my tires right about now? You know?
Nobody really said much because the dance teacher always called my daughter like her Kai Kai. She called her Kai Kai instead of Kyla, and she's like, "That's my Kai Kai." You know, she would. Yeah. So she babied her.
Yeah.
So nobody said really much.
After a while, they finally realized that Lacey was good. You know, and and it said it doesn't matter whether you drive a Lincoln Navigator and I drive a Ford Ranger. So what? Right. That does. So this just makes you, you know, higher up. It doesn't make you any smarter. You know,
I can't believe that lady said that.
Oh, she was horrible. She was worse than Abby on Dance Moms, the actual Dance Mom instructor. This woman was. Every mom couldn't stand her because she really thought her daughter, because her daughter won Miss River Days. Okay, but so she thought her daughter was the next, you know, top model, and the kid she looked like olive oil. I'm sorry, you know. She was built like olive oil, and she was as clumsy as a horse on roller skates. But yet her mom, she thought that her daughter was the best dancer there was.
Well, everybody looks at their children with rose-colored glasses on.
Yeah, and I know that. But the kid had a little bit of talent. You know, she could tap it, but she was just so awkward with it. And she was going to be one of those that was a late bloomer that was probably she's probably 7'1" now, but you know, she was a little tall and lanky, but she just didn't really have the rhythm the same. And Lacey, you know, this girl had been in dance for 3 years. Lacey had only been in it for 1, and they picked her right away that this kid's going somewhere with this if she sticks with it. And they stuck her with the older girls, and she stayed with it for 7 or 8 years. You know.
Well, my niece Isabel, she's one of the toys in the Nutcracker this year at Clemson University.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And she was in it last year. She was a soldier last year, and she's only 9. So, ladies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like some of them women they're horrible. I mean, they are horrible.
Well, it's like that with anything artsy, you know. And I don't think dads are like that as far as sports goes. Not the majority of them. I know there's some that's really over the top about that stuff, but most dads know if their child has talent or not. You know, as far as you know, as far as like football or baseball or basketball. You know, my son was a cross-country runner. All you got to do is get out there and run like hell, you know? I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I tell you what I hated the most was when we went to competition, it was backstage when, you know, the moms are getting the hair ready. And, there was one mom hit her daughter in the head with a brush because she wouldn't sit still. Kids are kids.
Yeah.
They're 9, 10-year-old kids. They're excited to be where they're at. They're jumping around. They're girls, And that woman took that brush and just bashed that kid in the head and told her to sit still. And that went through me like a knife. And I walked over and grabbed that brush and smacked her upside the head with it. And here comes all the dance instructors and all that. And she's like, oh, I said, hit her again. I dare you. I said, and you're going to be out that window. Because we were like on the 4th floor. I said, there's no reason for you to hit that child. She's just excited. I said, unless you want to grow wings and fly, you're going to be on the ground before you know it. That just went through me like a knife and just, I saw
What did
red.
she say back to you after you smacked her?
She's like, oh, you cried, that hurt. I said, it was supposed to hurt, stupid, She apologized to her daughter and then to the rest of them because she just made a fool out of herself, acting like that.
We used to go to marching band contests, and while we were there, the twirlers would do their solo and duet and quartet routines underneath the stadium on the other side of the football field. And you never, ever wanted their performance solo to be before your band marched, because they either came out ecstatic and so excited they were peeing in their pants, or they were crying. So you can imagine having to take the band on the field and they do their halftime show performance with the band where they were either peeing or crying, and it was always a mess. So I always tried to schedule the twirler solo and ensemble routines for after the band gets through performing, so.
Hi, Joanna, and hi, Guamers, eBay.
I did tell that woman, I said, if anybody's going to be mad at your kid, it should be me at mine, because I could never get the fake eyelashes on, because Lacey would blink every time and then they'd get stuck, because she'd blink and the glue would get stuck and I had to take it back off. But it was just a reaction, It's like, if anybody's going to get mad, it'd be me, but that's a stupid thing to get mad at. And here you are mad about somebody about her because she won't sit still for 2 seconds. And they didn't go on for like an hour. I was like, you're going to fix her hair now? They're running around. You're going to be fixing it again 45 minutes from now or 5 minutes before showtime.
When Sasha was running track, running cross country, he ran for the school he went to was a little Christian school. Okay. And they only ran against their normal season was running against other, comparable size schools, Christian schools. And then they would run some big competitions against public high schools and stuff like that, or, too. We had a course that was through the woods. Ours was a true cross country course. I mean, you're running through the woods down an old field road that had grown over, so it was real flat, and then you would dash back into the woods, and you're going across creeks and down creek beds and stuff like that. We had a couple of universities come and bring a couple of their runners and get them to run it, because they said this is what a cross country course is supposed to be. Anyway, I'm standing at the back of the course with my little walkie-talkie, and just to make sure we didn't have any, injuries back there in the back and somebody wasn't back there. And these 2 girls came along because the boys would run and then the girls would run. These 2 girls came along and they weren't from my school, but they were from opposing teams. And they came by and one of them was saying, so what kind of, they're running along, what kind of music do you like? And the other girl says, well, I like Justin Bieber and, whatever. Anyway, I said, you girls need to shut the hell up and run. Anyway, one of them said, you're not my coach. I'm like, okay, I'm a judge. I could really just kick your ass off the course right now if I wanted to. Anyway, so I finished up and went out to the front and I walked over to the 2 coaches. All the coaches were standing around talking. between the meets, and I walked over to the coaches, and I pointed to the two coaches from the two teams. I said, "You're probably going to get a report from your girls saying I told them to shut the hell up and run," because I said they were coming down through there, and I started doing like they were running. You know, what kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you? I like Justin Bieber, and both of them just about died. They were going, "What?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, one of them told me I wasn't her judge. I mean, I wasn't her coach. She wasn't, you know, she didn't cuss or anything. She said, "You're not my coach." They said, "What do you think? Should be some." The one that said, you know, the girl kind of talked back to me. She said, "What do you think her punishment should be?" I said, "I think she needs to take a couple of laps." And the other one said, "Well, I think mine needs to join her because if she can't shut up and run, you know, not be on the team." So these two girls come back, and after the meet, they made them run these couple of laps, which would have been, it took 4 laps to do a 5K. So they did half of a 5K. They were already tired, and they were crying and carrying out. And I said, the girls at the front of the pack and the boys, I never heard them talking, you know. But these two were having a good old time. What kind of music do you like? And I just got so tickled about after the fact. I got tickled about it. But it was go ahead.
One of the schools I taught at back when I was a whole lot younger, I was still in pretty good shape. I ran 6 miles a day, and I would always enter the fun runs, the local fun runs, the 5Ks and 10Ks, you know, just for fun. And I had a student, a little bitty wisp of a girl that would go to the same fun runs, and she was in my band. And so we'd always chat before the race and then with her parents and then after the race. And that little thing beat me every time. And I was in shape. I was not extremely slow back then. And she and she was so nice about it. She said, "Oh, Mr. Parker, you ran such a good race." And yeah, I finished about 100 yards behind you this time. I'm making progress. And I said, "What was your time?" "Oh, I did about 6 minutes a mile." And I'm like, "Oh my God." I did my like 6.5, 7 minutes a mile. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm proud of myself." Oh, Darla beat me again.
I got my little.
I think she won state cross country that year in our school classification.
My little niece, she's my grandniece. She's 13. She's in cross country, and she's so tiny. I mean, she's maybe 4 foot something. I think she's in the 8th grade, and she is racing against grown women and beating them.
Yeah.
And her, you know, she just went to state representing the school. I think it was last weekend or weekend before up in Columbus, and was, you know, racing grown women, you know, teenage girls, the whole thing, and come in second out of all those girls. I mean, there was almost 1,000 of them. And she's so humble like that too. She's just happy to be doing what she's doing, and she's a very good kid. So.
When I was in high school, cross country had only been an organized event in high schools for like a couple of years. I think it was like 73 when they created it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
73. That was the year I was born.
Oh, shut the hell up. Anyway, there was a young lady. She was like a sophomore, and some of the basketball team said, "Oh, that cross country's, you know, is a piece of cake." Blah 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 blah. So she said, "Okay, we'll get out on the track, which is nice and flat, and we'll run a 5K. And if I
Uh-oh.
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 Cat stepped on his button.
That's funny.
Cat said that'll be enough for you.
Dad, did you need to say something?
Okay. He said, if I win, y'all got to do what I say for a whole day. And if I win, if one of y'all win, I have to do what y'all say for a whole day. That's not illegal or immoral. So anyway, so they got out there. One of the coaches was out there, and he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'll see that everybody's schedule's clear that day." And he told. It was reported that he told the girl, Sarah, that he said these boys will be shooting their guts up after two laps. Because, they're basketball players, and yes, they run back and forth down the court and stuff like that, but they don't consistently run at almost top speed the whole time. So they get out there and they run, and she beats the crap. I think, they gave up after she lapped them the second time. So you go into the lunch, the day she had lunch, one of them went and got her tray, and he would stand beside her. She said, "No, you stand here in case I need something." Another one was painting her toenails.
Oh, good Lord.
And the other one was, one of them ended up painting her nails after she finished eating. One of them had to carry her books around the class all day. It was a hoot, but she did. I mean, she was a little slender thing, and she could run like lightning.
Hi, Steve Funktown.
So anyhow, that's my little story.
Bushton Pickens says, I was too fast for cross country. I would burn out after sprinting the first mile. Then everyone would pass me.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem is that, we tell our guys, you never want to be first until like the last lap.
Mm-hmm.
And, but we had a lot of injuries on our courses because it was cross country through slick areas and stuff like that, which we made sure everybody walked it before we actually started the run. We had a big rainstorm the night before, and we thought, well, we might need to call it. So after everybody got there, we walked it with the coaches, and they said, let's do this thing. We need to sort the baby boys away from the whiny boys. And they got out there and ran it, but they would slip, mud and have skip knees and come in muddy and everything else. And but I tell you what, that last little bit coming into the finish line, man, they would stretch them long legs out and they were hustling down through there. But there was one school that had this little chubby boy. He was about 14 years old, and he would run. And he was doing the cross country because he was wanting to lose weight, but he also wanted to be involved in a team because he wasn't good at basketball or any of that kind of stuff. And he would come in dead last every time, and he would be washed down in sweat, but he never stopped throughout the course. And then by the time he finished, everybody else was done, and so all of the teams would stand out there and cheer him on as he came in. And his senior year, our coach sent me a picture. Said, "This is the little fat kid from when Sasha ran," and that boy he went from about 4 feet tall to about 6 feet tall, and he was slender as all get out. And she said he just busted our time on our course. He set the fastest time, but he'd get out there and he'd run his little fat butt off, and he'd come by me when I was back at the back, and I'd say, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" "I'm good, sir. I'm good, sir."
Joanna says, Tom, did you have anyone fracture a hip during track? My friend fractured hers in the 8th grade.
None.
Wow.
We had some fractured attitude, though. I'll say that. Because when you got a bunch of teenage boys together wanting to one up each other, and you're not really running against anybody, you're running against the time. That's what you're really running against. And but normally the person in first place has got the fastest time. But
that stands to reason.
Yeah. But we had them running against the course time. That's what we wanted them to run against. But they'd get out there. Man, they had a race. We had a race one time, and the humidity must have been 1,000%. You could every time you took a breath, you could feel water in your lungs. It was bad.
Yeah.
And these guys were puking their guts, and the girls too. They were puking their guts up out there, but they wouldn't stop because we were going to call it after the first about 2 laps into our first course or loops. We started to call the match, and the boys in the front, we said, do you want us to call it? We're thinking about calling, and they're like, no, let's finish it. We're here. Let's finish it. Man, they had some terrible times that day. But the first year that we ran our course, we had a lot of injuries because everybody was wanting to set the course because we didn't have an official course time on it. And everybody was wanting to set the fastest one. So all these boys were out there just running like hell and flipping down, and they still set a pretty good time. Somebody from another school set the time on the best time on it. But then our guys, our coach, our cross country coach was a woman. She would, when they'd go out to the course to practice, she said, okay, this is the time you're here to beat. So we would set a new course time, and then somebody else would come and set a new course time. And it kept getting faster and faster and faster. So if you have a kid that's not really got skills for basketball or football or anything like that, I think it's a good course. A good team to be on. The tennis people, I didn't particularly care for the tennis people because they had an attitude. They all had an attitude, which we didn't have tennis at the boys' school, but we had a tennis course. Actually, we had like 8 at my high school, tennis courts. But they thought they were better than everybody else.
I thought it was so stupid that we had to learn how to play tennis.
You don't have a tennis court in your backyard? What's wrong with you?
I was like, well, we had to learn during gym. That was one of the things that we had to learn was to play tennis.
Now, soccer had just made its way into the gym curriculum when I was in the 9th grade, because that's the only year I took gym. If they had started soccer back when I was like in the 7th grade or in that age bracket, I'd have probably played on the soccer team because I liked soccer. I know. Okay, I'm expecting Jim or Tara to just pop in here anytime now. But I wasn't. I had too much going on to have to worry about trying to make things. My dad.
I liked water polo.
Oh, we didn't do any water sports.
We had 2 built-in pools.
Well, our high schools that do field a swim team, they have to go over to one of the Ys to practice.
Yeah, it was. I liked swimming and stuff like that. And They were heated pools. So even in the wintertime, in California, you can swim and not freeze to death. But I always thought, gym should be stuff that you want to do.
Right.
It shouldn't be, you have to play football and soccer. There was a lot of different sports. There was weightlifting, there was running, there was, and maybe they did that just to see if you hadn't done it before, maybe they were just trying to show you, maybe something that you hadn't experienced. So you didn't know, if you liked it or not.
Todd, did you see the thing of what Fish had to say? He said, how fast are your miles now?
Well, I can walk one in about 25 minutes.
I want to see what Bridget's time is next week, or while she's at Disney World or Disneyland.
I'm not there next week. Ha ha ha.
Oh, well, it's the week after next.
Well, I'm going to be going on vacation.
Yeah. I want to see what your time is when you're trying to go from Haunted Village to the Star Wars land or whatever.
Oh, well, I go all day, so there's no stopping. Chris says, oh, here's a bench. Should we sit down for a second? Nope. Keep going. Move it.
I do want you to go. I want you to go, and I'll PayPal you the money, the $10 for it if I need to. I want you to go to Star Wars Land, and I want you to try one of the blue Star Wars drinks. The green ones are not supposed to be that good, but the blue ones are supposed to be good. I want you to go try it. I want an honest opinion.
I'll try it.
Chris will drink the rest of it.
I'll Facebook Live it for you.
Okay, we'll do that.
So if I puke, you can see it in real life. Nah, I'll try it.
It's not good.
I heard it tastes like Fruity Pebbles. So if it does, I'm fine with that. So
I don't know what it tastes like. I just hear the guy. Everybody that I've seen drink them, they like the blue ones and not really like the green ones.
I'll let you know my honest opinion.
Okay. And you need one of those $10 Cokes that's in the little droid bottles.
Yeah, you could bring those on the plane now. You weren't able to before.
Yeah.
Glenn says that he shot gun in PE.
Well, look where you're at.
Yeah, my kids were able to go to a program like it was during school, but like there was certain activities that you could participate in, like a gun safety course and learning how to bowl and going and seeing what firefighters do, day in the life of the firefighter, during school hours they would do this. And so my kids both took gun safety courses.
Cool.
We did archery in PE.
That was my favorite, was archery.
Yeah, we did archery too.
Which I already knew how to do it because my dad, he had the recurve bows and stuff, so it was just an added thing for me to get to do it. So during school.
What?
Wow.
Roberta says when we're rich, she says she wants to hire an archery coach because as her means of exercise, because she thinks it's cool, and she's always wanted to learn how to really shoot.
Do you have archery places around you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got them around here too.
After the first of the year, we're going to do a family project, and we're going to all go take the concealed carry class. And
yeah, we want to too. We want to get our permit
or like
That reminds me, I
you know
gotta
what I mean.
dude.
We want to get our handgun permit, but around here it takes 2 years once you put the application in.
Dang. Down here, it's like no time.
No, it's 2 years here. Well, that's what my friend who lives in South Carolina said. He goes, "What's a permit? What's a handgun permit?"
Yeah.
He's like, he goes, "You don't need one of those here."
If you're going to carry it on you, like in stores and stuff like that, you have to. But if I mean, my dad, we take trips. My dad kept his pistol in the glove box all the time.
We have open carry here and concealed carry.
Well, I guess we have open carry here too, because I see them strapped to, like on their belt loops, a holster on them.
You just can't carry it concealed if you don't have the license to do so.
Right.
Wow.
Roberta saw this pretty pink 9mm she likes.
That's what I would want.
I got Teresa one like that. It's purple and black. It's the Ruger LCP 380. It's just a little pistol.
Oh, this one is pink. It's two delicate shades of pink. I think it's bashful and blush. Which is a line from a movie. If y'all can tell me the movie that came from, you'll get a prize.
We have businesses in our town that have signs up that say, "Your concealed carry weapon is welcome in our business."
Seriously? You won't see those
Really?
signs in New York.
No.
Hey, I was watching the news, and I'm not talking, not getting specific political, but y'all got like the youngest congressman, or the youngest female congressman in the history of the U.S. Congress from your area. Bridget.
What did you just say? What?
There's a girl that is a woman, excuse me. She's the youngest congressman in the history of the United States Congress.
Oh, wow.
She's from your neck of the woods.
Is she from? Well, when you say that, I mean you just lump all New York together. So is she from
Northwest? It's like from the northwestern part of the state. Isn't that where you're at?
I'm in the western part of the state.
Yeah, but you're at the top, so you can't get much further. I mean, too much further north than where you're at.
Right. Kind of at the top.
I saw that and I said, "Oh hell, that's where she's from," or that should be Tara's. That should be. Get your foot off my screen. That should be Bridget's.
You be nice to that baby.
Kentucky's like South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama. All those, there's so many guns. When I was in high school, some of my friends would show up to high school in their pickup trucks with gun racks and with shotguns laying up in the racks.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think a thing about it. And then these damn yuppies from out west who are spoiled little brats have got to screw everything up. But they would. I bet you half the trucks with gun racks you would see in the student parking lot would have shotguns laying up in them.
Yeah, I used to have my shotgun in my pickup, and after school go do an hour or two of bird hunting and then head to the house. But
That's what these guys do, because there were several guys that their dads had big had big farms, and they had, like where in the fall of the year after they've cut hay and stuff like that, that's where all the quail and that kind of stuff would be at. So they'd go out there and hunt.
Hey, are you talking about this Cortez? Alexandria Cortez?
No, Lord, no. AOC, no, she's from New York City.
Yeah.
No, she's a dumbass, and she's not young. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I got political. Please erase that. Forget that. No, she's from. Hang on a second. Sally's on mute me.
No, I'm not.
Give me a damn lecture afterwards. What the hell's wrong with you? We got to keep this adult. We got to make sure all the content stays for adults only.
I'm pretty sure we're good in that aspect.
Pardon me?
I said, I'm pretty sure we're good.
Yeah, I'm sure we are.
A K show?
Stefanik.
Huh?
Stefanik. That's the lady's name.
Stefani?
Elise Marie Stefanik.
Oh, okay.
You know her?
I don't know her.
Well, I mean, you know of her. She became the youngest woman ever elected to Congress at the time. She was 30 years old when she was sworn in.
That's cool.
She's from Albany, right? Isn't she from Albany or no?
I think she might be that from. That's where she's at. So you got to have different Congress people, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Albany is quite a ways away from me.
Okay.
It's like 4 hours.
I've been to Albany. Albany.
Hi, Rita.
The youngest judge.
Pardon me?
A friend of mine, he was the youngest county judge.
Ah.
And now he's going for Supreme Court.
And I was listening to an attorney's interpretation of the new YouTube rules and whatnot. And there's this thing about being viable commercial or something of that sort. In other words, a lot of people thought, well, if my channel's not making any money, I'm going to get demonetized. I'm going to lose my channel. And he said, as an attorney, his interpretation of it is, and he says, all of it's interpretation. I mean, everybody's interpreting what it says. The only person that knows what it meant is the person that wrote them. Is that, have y'all seen any of these channels? They'll have like 8 hours of nothing. It'll be just black.
No.
Okay, there's channels that are nothing but like 8 hours of nothing. It's just a black screen. And people come in and they do some networking and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he says that's the kind of stuff that they will probably get rid of because that's burning up resources and there's no financial gain out of it. So he's like, that's the kind of stuff that's going to, that they will be considering not, commercially viable.
Is it like a sleep video or something?
Yeah, like a sleep video.
Yeah, I've heard of that. And there's people that like to watch other people sleep, but there's things that are just, like there's videos to where it's just like black, dark in the room and you can't really see anything anyway. So
I don't want nobody watching me sleep.
Either.
I mean, I drew out the corner of my mouth,
It's just creepy.
That's just like, that's creepy as hell. That sounds like
That's like voyeurism only with YouTube.
yeah.
That's voyeurism with your clothes on. Oh, baby, I like the way you sleep. Oh, God.
Well, there's people that like to hear other people snore.
Oh my Lord.
I know.
Roberta would say, she says, I need to hook Tom up with this person.
Oh my God. No, Chris gets kicked. Sometimes he wakes up with black and blue marks on his legs.
I love my wife.
Crazy.
And that's with his CPAP.
Yeah. Man.
My doctor keeps telling me if I'd lose some damn weight, I wouldn't snore as bad.
Well, that's
That's
normal.
That
Yeah.
has a lot to do with it, yeah.
And I told him if it, there's a lot of ifs in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What's that saying? If its and buts were chocolate and nuts, the whole world would be happy.
Yeah.
What?
Something like that. If spit it out, Laurie. If its and buts were chocolate and nuts, the whole world would be happy.
I've never heard that.
Well, you.
Joanna says, Bridget, does he have tonsils?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have tonsils too.
So do
I
me.
have-
So do me.
Does that mean something? Because I have my tonsils too.
I can't talk today.
Maggie
Well-
says, I don't even like to hear Michael breathe, much less snore. Now, Maggie, honey, I could take that as a couple of different ways. I could take it. I don't want to read the paper where wife wakes up and husband has passed during the night. Wife's DNA was found on his nostrils, where she's pinching his nose clip.
Yeah, but Joanna, the tonsils don't necessarily make it to where you snore, because Brandon snores really hard sometimes if he's not wearing a CPAP, and he doesn't have tonsils.
No,
So
she's saying that he snores more since he has his tonsils been removed.
oh,
No, he doesn't snore as much. I don't know. I don't snore at all, and I don't have tonsils, and I have my tonsils.
yeah.
My wife and I have crazy conversations. We were talking about flying, and I can't go to sleep because I'm scared I'll start snoring. So I have to, I'll do word search puzzles for 5 hours or whatnot.
Oh my God.
Because so I don't go to sleep. And I said, yeah. I said when we win the lottery and we have our own jet, I said I can sleep then. And she'll say no, because halfway in our flight, the pilot will be going, Mayday, Mayday, we've got an engine going out. And the co-pilot will say, negative, Captain, that's Mr. Hux. He's gone to sleep. When you say Joseph, Joanna, you talk about your little boy? Or is your little boy a Joseph Jr.?
I think she has a Joseph Jr. too. Oh, she says she has to go to bed. Her husband has to go to bed first, and then because she snores too much and keeps him awake. Oh,
he's not big enough to snore.
Her boy Joseph.
He's a like 3, 4.
Her husband's Ryan. Right. Yeah, he's not very old.
Yeah, he's a little thing, because I saw her when she was putting up apples last year. He was standing at the stove helping her, and he was standing in a chair because he couldn't. He's a little fella. Oh, he's 6 now. Okay. And he's your baby, isn't he? Or do you have one younger than him? Because if he's the baby, this will be the last year that Joanna has anybody at home during the day. Next year he'll be out. His little better be off to school. My mom, when we were kids, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Everybody in our neighborhood's moms were stay-at-home, unless they had a business or they were like hairdressers or something of that stuff. My mom would always say, first day of school, they would all run the flags up. all the moms would get up, run flags up as it's a holiday.
Oh, that's right. Jolene's 3.
Oh, that's right. I thought she had a little
I
one.
I couldn't remember if Jolene was the older one or if Joseph was.
But it's
Yeah, she's still hustling though.
Is Joseph at school now? Did he start school this year? Because my birthday in South Carolina, if you've not turned 7 by the 1st of October, I think it is, you have to wait a year to start.
Goofy dog.
So my birthday was in December, so everybody in my graduating class was 17 except for me and a couple other boys, like my best friend in high school. His birthday was 2 days after mine. So we were all 18 years old. Which we were real popular with our friends because it's like, hey, man, you can buy beer.
Oh, because it was 18 back then, huh?
Yeah, it was 18. You could buy beer. Still 21 for liquor, but beer and wine you could get.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And anybody could walk in and buy a pack of smokes. So.
Did they change that?
What?
Cigarette age?
Yeah, sometime late. I mean, it was long after I was even out.
No. I thought they changed it to 21.
Everything's 21 now.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the day my dad would give me give me a buck and tell him to go in there and get him a pack of cigarettes. And 10 years old, running a store. I'd like a pack of Winston Thieves. There you go. Now they'll call the law on everybody.
Shoot. When I was young, there were
a cigarette machine right over here, and
the cigarette machines used to sit out in front of hotels and businesses.
75 cents.
Yeah, a buddy of mine's got one in his game room that he had refinished, and it when you pull the lever, it gives you different types of either bubblegum cigarettes or candy cigarettes. And he's got a daughter-in-law. It's like, I cannot believe you're doing that because that's promoting smoking to children. He's like, they don't have nothing to do with it. If I catch one of my grandchildren smoking and they're not of age, I'm gonna beat their ass, whether they're 17 or they're 9. They're breaking the law. Now, mind you, he's the one that used to go to the boot with me when we were 16 years old.
I can tell you what, if a kid wants to smoke, they're gonna smoke. If they don't, then they're not going to. It's whatever. My parents were both non-smokers, and all 4 of their kids smoked.
Yeah. Well, I just don't think tobacco companies and the states are going to have to start looking at other income streams because cigarette sales in North Carolina are staying pretty flat, and that's because of all the damn Yankees coming down here and buying our cigarettes and taking them back up north and reselling them for $25 or $50 a pop, But other states, their tax sales from cigarettes have gone down because the less people are smoking.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, once you quit smoking and you walk up to somebody that smokes, you can tell they smoke. and I don't have anything. If you want to smoke, you knock yourself out. Because I grew up around smokers. You know, my dad would crack the window in the car, you know, when he was smoking and we'd go in places. But I just think people are just, you know, getting away from it because it smells and.
Well, there's more education now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many laws against public smoking in Charlotte. I don't know why they just don't outlaw well, I know why they don't outlaw the sale of cigarettes or tobacco in Mecklenburg counties, because of the tax revenue they get from the state off of them.
Well, don't you have tobacco fields around there?
No, we might have a few, but it's more down the coastal area where the sand is and that kind of stuff.
And in Kentucky. Where is it?
Yeah, in Kentucky. If they ever legalized marijuana, the growing of marijuana, I'm getting out of the reselling industry. I already have my eye on a building. We're going to make a big old green room, grow room. It's a former textile plant. It's about 13,000. No, it's almost smacked. It's like 1,300,000 square feet. We're going to be, North Carolina is going to rise again as the top producer, top grower.
So it's not legal there yet?
Oh, no, it won't be either. Honey, we're in the Bible Belt here. So don't bring your weed here. Your ass will end up in jail.
There's so many places, though, that, I mean, you wouldn't think that Colorado would be the first state, you know?
I've heard of them, but I haven't tried one. And I don't know whether that's the name of it, unless you say it is. But yeah, it's something that you put in your mouth when you go to bed at night, and it helps you not snoring.
Well, and there's breathe right strips too.
They don't do worth nothing. And then there's the stuff that you spray in your mouth that keeps your throat lubricated in the night.
The breathe right strips are good if you have a cold and stuff, because it keeps the nasal passages open.
No, I like the smell of pipes, and I like the smell of good cigars. Well, it'd be good if they did that for medical purposes, but how many damn people is going to have some kind of medical reason?
Yeah, that's basically what they did here was, you know, you could go into a doctor and pay the doctor the fee or whatever, get the medical marijuana card, and all you would have to say is, I'm having back problems, or I have arthritis, or whatever.
So we're seeing.
They didn't ever check it out with any other doctors or anything like that.
Right.
It was just whatever you would say. But, you know, marijuana does help a lot of different ailments.
Mm-hmm.
Testa, I know that bad hip you've got is going to start flaring up again. Oh, my nose. Okay, here. This is truth-telling time here now. When I was a kid and I tried smoking pot, all I ended up was with a headache.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's all I got ever was a headache. And I'm talking about like not too long after I'd smoke it, I'd start getting a headache. So I was not a big one.
Your headache, not us.
Yeah, it's supposed to cure it. Even
like,
a friend of mine, he'd get a friend of mine would get the old bong out, you know, and instead of putting water, he'd put a good rosé wine in it.
oh my God. There's your headache.
And then no, I didn't do it by the wine. I'm just like a cigarette. And then he would drink the wine. Then he would drink the wine out.
Ew.
Hank says oregano and parsley will do that to you, Tom.
No, it wasn't that.
Trying to smoke
my friend grew his own. I know what the hell he was doing, where it came from. Because by the age that I got like high school, college age, that's when a lot of bad shit was going around. You know, people were ending up in the hospital because it was being laced with stuff. But my friend, his dad had big, either tobacco or corn or stuff like that. So he'd go out and send him some plants. He'd plant him some plants out there amongst the corn and the tobacco.
Yeah, Liz says they're killing it on taxes on CBD. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, I agree. They are getting, I think it's, well, just on CBD stuff, they're getting 14%.
Wow.
I
never looked at it here.
And Joanna says in Illinois, there was only 2 weed doctors. The rest of the medical community wouldn't fill out the paperwork for a card, so they just straight legalized it. And there was a thing here, a couple of weeks ago. They were afraid because there was a lot of people that didn't have medical marijuana cards, that they were afraid that they weren't going to be able to buy any because they were going to have to wait for a new crop, basically. Right. Because the medical marijuana growers weren't allowed to mix product. They weren't allowed to use medical marijuana for
recreational.
Recreational marijuana, but they changed it so that they can use a portion of their inventory to sell for recreational and a portion for medical, so they can use the same stuff. So now they're not going to have that lack in inventory.
Well, a problem they're running into is if people think that just because it's legal for recreational that they can do whatever they want to. But a friend of mine that lives in Colorado, he had to fire a bunch of people from his company because they drove company vehicles, and the insurance company told them they wanted all of them to have a drug test that day. So he sent it to them, and they all failed it. The insurance company said they can't drive they can't drive their company vehicles anymore, and just because they tested positive for it. And so he said that he told them if you will be tested again. If you're tested positive, you will be fired. And some of them, I mean, half of them they didn't smoke because they were under the thoughts that just because they weren't stoned at the time or high at the time, they weren't doing anything wrong. But no, they said if you test positive, then because that's the federal law.
Well,
federal law.
There's states. I know one state. I can't remember what state it is, but there's I think it's either Arizona, Nevada, or somewhere. Anyways, I think it's Arizona. If the employees are not able to drug test for marijuana anymore, and so I think that will become part of it too, hopefully.
Well, this don't have anything to do with the employees. It has to do, the employer has to do with the insurance company.
Right.
And the insurance company is going by federal law. They're under federal law.
Right.
They can tell them either you get them drug tested or you've just lost your insurance.
Well, especially if they're driving. I mean,
yeah.
Alcohol is legal, but you can't drive while under the influence.
Yeah. Our guys, not our guys, my brother's insurance company requires all people that drive company vehicles, they have to be tested every 90 days. Mm-hmm. And he's supposed to stagger it.
Yeah, and just like Joanna says, you'll get a DWI if you're caught smoking and driving at the same time,
Yeah. And I think that's what people are going to have to realize. They're going to have to realize it's the same thing as, as drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely would rather be in a car with somebody that was stoned driving than drinking and driving. But I wouldn't really want either.
Yeah, me either.
And if I know that I'm doing something, if I know that I'm going to eat a brownie or smoke something, or the same as if I know I'm going to be drinking, I don't drive.
Right.
Well, my thought is, and I'm just a square old man.
Yeah, we know.
I know.
I don't have to get high or drunk to have a good time.
Did we say that at the same time, Bridget?
Yeah, y'all are just... Have y'all had the snow chain put on your brooms yet?
Mm-hmm.
Square old man.
Yeah. I got to pack these up. I forgot about that. I sold these Levi boots yesterday afternoon.
Oh, cool. Good job.
Nobody in the house could wear them, or we'd have kept them.
So the topic for today, and quotes, is supposed to be like, what can you do if you're set, like, little things that you can do besides listing, if your sales are slow.
Well, I hear through the grapevine of mucho eBayers, YouTubers, is the maybe throw a few cents promotion on them and then take it back off a couple of days later, or throw a overnight sale on and then let it drop off of, just to keep changing it up.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have no comment, because I'm a part-time eBay seller, so I don't really have a comment.
Well, I thought I was part-time, and then I heard somebody that says they only put and this is nothing against anybody who lists or doesn't list or whatever. You do stuff how you want to do it. But I thought I was part-timer, but then I heard somebody that is part-time that only lists like 5 to 10 a month. And I'm like, I would have 0 sales.
That's a hobbyist there. That's
yeah, that's I would never have sales if that's all I listed was 5 to 10 a month. Hi, Texas Bound.
Depends on what you're selling and how much you're asking for it.
True.
If you sell stuff like Todd makes a full-time income off of selling 10 items a month. So if he lists 20, 5 a week new items, and his price match He's going to sell them, and he's going to be making a full-time income. Now, Bridget,
No.
she doesn't sell quite as high expensive stuff, so she has to list a little bit more and sell a little bit more to make her.
Bridget does pretty good on her prices.
I know. I'm just being sarcastic. You know, she has to work. She has to sell more to make her $500,000 a year. You know.
Bridget, is that you? Or is it the pretend Bridget? Wave at me, damn it. Okay. She gets on there and goes like this.
Sorry, I had to get onto my desktop.
No, Tom, I checked my 31 day and divided out
Oh, okay.
to see how much my average was. And it was like $27 and something per item. But I always charge shipping, so that's included. So I expect my average sales price is around $20 an item, which I don't like. I would like to only sell $1,000 items.
Well, that's like I've said before. The friend of mine says, if you sell 100 items.
Sorry, that was me.
Like I've said before.
I wonder sometimes if maybe like depending on how much you regularly list, you know, to keep it consistent. I'm wondering if it's not a bad thing to do like 2 a day or something. You know, it's so freaking weird how my sales are sometimes, like especially on Poshmark. I could share 3 or 4 times a day, okay? And list on there too. And then the 1 or 2 days that I don't do anything on there, that's when I get sales.
Right. Yep. Same here.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand Poshmark at all.
I'm wondering if it's getting to be more like eBay as far when I go to eBay, I'm looking for something. I know pretty much what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. You know, if I need a printer, a 4XL printer, I don't go in there and go, you know, label printer. I'm kind of narrowed it down to the kind of printer I want it to be. And I'm wondering if people are getting to the point where they go on Poshmark and they're looking for a Coach bag, a brown Coach bag, a gray Coach bag. You know, they're getting where they're specifically looking for a floral Versace, you know, foo-foo gown.
Okay.
A foo-foo gown?
Yeah. That's a technical term, Todd. Don't you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'm just wondering if people are getting more, you know, all this listing, not listing, the sharing stuff is kind of old school now because people are realizing there's so much stuff on there and just go, look what I need to get and, you know, get in and get out.
I think it still helps to share though.
Okay.
I don't know. But
like to share just your store or share other people's stores too?
I don't know. I don't share other people's stores. I feel bad about it. I probably should stop.
Yeah.
But
right. Sometimes I think maybe we should, but then there's, you know, been people that have done, you know, tests with it and said, you know, it doesn't matter if you show other people's closets because it, you know, it's not going to bring them up on the list any higher.
Well, it's the same with eBay when people do supposed tests on doing promoted or sales or, you know, and they're like, oh, that doesn't help. But for me, running a promotion really helps my sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a difference. You know, I think I don't know.
It's probably a little bit of everything. Bridget, how did you put your icon on your duck?
I clicked settings and clicked icon on the duck.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know.
God, she is such a witch when she wants to be. Is your shipping department home today?
Yes, he is.
Okay, you keep talking to somebody, and I'm thinking, oh my God, the old girl's lost it because she's being working. She's lost it.
Yeah, he's home, but I was helping ship too.
Okay.
Now I got to print them all.
So anybody, hey Texas Val, how you doing? You must not have all the oil rigs running today. You're in here early today. She has to go out with her golf cart, collect up barrels of Earl every day.
Hey, Tom, did you figure it out?
What?
If you go to the dock, your main StreamYard screen, and you see your little thing on the left-hand side bottom, it says you're in the show.
Yeah.
If you click that little landscape, it says Edit Avatar.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's not doing anything, but thank you.
Oh, well, it kicked him out. That worked.
Oh my gosh.
Todd.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me
Bridget.
say this. Let me say something real quick.
No.
Joanna says, has anyone got an offer and said, I will send you a prepaid label on eBay? That's weird.
I did for that manhole cover that the company bought, but my listing was local pickup only.
Oh, okay.
And they finally talked me into packing it up, and they would send a label and the shipper would pick it up. But I don't like doing that. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only item I've ever had that happen on, was for a very heavy, that thing weighs about 60 pounds.
Right.
And I just had local pickup only.
I've had somebody send me a prepaid overnight label for FedEx. Or no, they didn't. I'm sorry, they didn't. They gave me their account number. Sorry.
And that's on top of your regular shipping charge? Or in lieu of your shipping charge?
No,
I didn't charge them shipping because they were doing their own account. And it was for a TV show, so I just let them do their own account.
Joanna says on eBay, I think the buyer's in Canada. And Jim and Tara says, yes, on large, heavy items I have.
Which is everything Jim and Tara sell.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Check out these things.
Hey, Swamp.
You see that?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that cool? That is a...
Show me again.
Hang on.
Well,
that is like a...
Why don't I see Sally? Why is she blown up?
I'm trying to get it to where it's showing him.
Oh.
Hang on. Talk, Todd.
What? Talk. I am talking. You've got yourself highlighted.
I'm trying to highlight you. Dang it. How do I do it?
Can you double click on him?
Yeah, that's not happening. I thought it would be whoever's talking.
No, I guess not.
Well, that sucks. Sorry.
What is that, Todd?
Anyway, these are silver place card holders,
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
and they're
That's
made out of 800 silver, which is kind of unusual in and of itself.
Hmm.
It's not as pure as sterling, but they're like Oriental looking things,
Oh, okay.
or Burmese or Indonesian or something.
What do they say on them? 800?
I actually have something I can't read, but I did at the same sale get this piece that does say 800. This is little olive stickers or
Oh, wow.
Pot stickers.
garnish pokers, whatever you call them.
Mhm.
They're real sharp on the end.
That's really cool.
I only poked myself about 8 times while I was polishing the silver.
You use those to eat horse drawers with.
Horse doors, yeah, horse doors.
Horse drawers.
Oh, I'm like, what the hell?
Oh,
are you
fire,
doing?
Mr. Sadie.
So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 of them on there.
That's
And
cool.
so, yeah, when you're out, I got these at a state sale. And I kind of paid up because I just thought they were cool. But I'll sell them.
They're
But,
cool.
yeah,
So, how much do you think those will go for?
I don't know. I think, heck if I know. These are weighted. That's kind of like lead there. So it's not
Oh, Todd needs to share screens. What he needs to do.
It's not all lead.
Yeah, but he doesn't have it listed yet, probably.
Right.
No,
So this little guy's fishing.
If you put the white card behind it, it might help, though.
White card behind it.
There you go.
This little guy's fishing. This guy's got an ox cart.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, right click on his square and select. Ah, crap. I just kicked him out. Oh, he's
Oh my
not
God.
going to be happy about that.
I don't know whether you can.
Oh, wait.
Here.
Wait. There you are. Add to stream. Okay.
Bridget, or Sally, you're an evil person.
I'm trying to
I was gonna say,
Okay.
this time. What the heck?
build the layout. There we go. I did it. Thank you.
Like,
There he is.
Thank you, Tommy. Tommy, help me.
they said at the sale that these were place card settings.
That's
So
cool.
you put
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hucks up here, and then you put this outside with the dogs.
Are you?
You know, I wonder if those are, since you got those pot stickers.
He totally ignored that.
I know, I saw that. I'm wondering if those were like you'd have like since you've got those,
Yes.
whether you would have these sitting like on top, not on top, but above a plate of or a tray of,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like an hors d'oeuvres.
beef pots, beef pot sticker type things, or
Here's your cheese chunks and your
your meatballs and
yeah.
Tommy says to ask Todd if they are different ones than he had on display in England last night.
No, they're the same ones.
Were you in England last night?
I was. I went on Zahir's channel for a little while yesterday evening.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I like Zahir. He's funny.
Oh yeah.
And these are like two little swords or something.
Cool.
With horse heads.
Yeah, that's what they look like, as swords or something like that.
Those are umbrellas.
Yeah, they could be.
Are they umbrellas?
I'm just saying that, Sally.
Oh.
You know, he's.
Yeah,
those would make some good Monopoly. You know, if you want to bring your own custom Monopoly token with you.
Yeah.
Morning, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hey,
Or if you
Carol.
wanted a place card holder for your poker match.
So how much did you pay for all those?
I gave $30 for these 6,
Mm.
which is paying up. Because they'll probably only sell for about 60, and I gave $30 for this set.
I like
Wow.
that.
So I won't sell them for less than 60. So they probably won't. I'm not going to quadruple my money or anything, but you know,
So
when you go to an estate sale where rich people live, they generally always have unique items from around the world, you know.
Is
Right.
that the bloke that passed on that lives next door to you?
What?
I said, was that the bloke that passed away that lived next door to you? You said you can go into where rich people live.
No. I live in a middle class neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh,
With three oil wells in his backyard, one in his front.
Yeah.
Everybody that lives in Texas has oil wells. Texas Valerie's probably got about 6 or 8 on her spread.
Yeah.
Beth's got a couple, you know. When she talks about she's got to go work for the employer, that means that she's got to go out there and turn the valve on so that oil will start pumping out.
Mr. Sadie said these are for eating corn one kernel at a time.
Yeah.
Open a can of corn and go, pick.
Yeah. Eat your pinto beans with them.
If anyone finds random ceiling fans for free, look up what the fan blade arms go for.
Cool. You know, anything that I replace in this house, like vacuum cleaners, microwaves, anything, I will always check to see what the parts are selling off of it.
Yeah.
I just got a full rainbow vacuum cleaner from like the 70s. It's got all the attachments and everything.
Cool.
And I got it for free.
Oh, wow.
I'll probably part it out.
What were those things?
Yeah.
Those things were like $2,000 back in the 70s, weren't they?
My brother used to sell them back in the day, and my mom bought one. I wish I would have had that one, but I don't know if it ever happened yet. But she used it all the time.
Yeah.
But people love those things for some reason. Mom liked hers. I called it the brown R2D2. You know, that's what it looked like.
So I'm playing with my lights.
But
But you know what? Those are the kind of vacuum cleaners that will shock the shit out of you.
Mhm.
If there's anything funky with it, it will. Oh my god, it'll
people
light you
use them.
up.
And the part it sells better parting it out than it does as a whole.
Yeah,
So
I grab it fast.
I grab it fast.
So that's what I'm going to be doing. This parting it out.
There's a guy here in town that has a cleaning service, and he his vacuums, when they quit working, he parts them out and sells them on eBay because he says it costs more. It costs more to have them repaired usually than it does to
Buy a new one.
buy a new one.
Yep.
Because these are commercial grade, so they charge them a what do they call it, a counter a counter fee just to take it out and see what's wrong with it.
Unless you buy one of those Dyson ones, those things are expensive.
Mhm.
Well, we have the what's the things they sell at Walmart? The Shark.
I have the Shark, and I've had this Shark for Probably about 4 years, 5 years, never have an issue.
And I think it does just as if a Dyson does much better, then to me it's overkill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And this was like a third. This thing was a third of the price.
And their fan, that little fan, it's about yay big around, has no blades, but it looks like a circle.
Right.
Looks like it belongs at the Harry Potter Quidditch game or something. But $300 for that fan. I'm thinking, I have a box fan I paid $16 for. It does the same thing.
Oh yeah.
I've got to replace the heater out here in the sunroom, and I told Roberta, I said I want to get one of those. The new one, the new round ones. I think Dyson does it, and
the bladeless one.
Yeah, the bladeless fans, but it's a heater.
I've seen those.
Because we have one of those things from Walmart. I mean, from Lowe's that looks like a radiator. It's got oil in it. Oil in it.
Those are nice if you sit right next to it.
You know what to do? Have a little fan, or I have the ceiling fan on.
Yeah.
But with the Dyson, there's no buffeting. There's no buffeting against you.
Buffeting? Okay.
Yeah. That was one of their, I remember watching one of those fan advertisements. It's a steady stream of air. There's no buffeting on you. So, what if you enjoyed the buffeting? I mean.
I'm sure you're so excited, Mr. Sadie. I know you have a lot of Christmas stuff.
Mr. Sadie's getting ready to start setting up Christmas. My next door neighbor's got all his stuff out, but he hadn't got it turned on. All his inflatables and stuff like that.
Can't wait.
He's got all his stuff out.
I would love to do an entire Star Wars. I'd like to do the entire Star Wars Christmas. They have the, I think it's Home Depot now has the big ATT walker with Christmas lights on it. It's inflatable. And I've already got Darth Vader.
Be great to set up a Yoda with his lightsaber sticking through Santa's gut or something.
I want one.
Kind of bitch, I will.
I want one of the minions. It's got like pointy ears, elf ears, and he's supposed to be like an elf. That sucker must be about 8 feet tall.
Maybe Darth Vader doing a death grip mind hold on Rudolph's little neck.
I want.
You know how he would choke guys out just by holding his hand up
without even touching them.
See, okay, that's one of the things.
Little feet would dangle off the ground. Oh.
That's one of the things that gets me about Star Wars is after Anakin started going to the dark side, why Yoda just didn't come up to him and snap his little useless neck like a daggone stick. But then again, there wouldn't have been 7 other episodes and 12 bad movies and everything.
Yep.
I mean,
I think sometimes they forget that we gotta actually believe this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the largest franchises ever, Star Wars.
What was that?
Even people live under rock knows what Star Wars is.
What was that spoof movie, Hardware Wars?
Spaceballs. I remember Hardware, but I remember Spaceballs.
Like Spaceballs.
Let's see if Hardware Wars is on YouTube.
If y'all got Prime Video, which if you got Prime, you've got Prime Video. Y'all need to check out their show. They got some good stuff on there. I've just really recently started messing with it because all the people I follow on YouTube, they've quit turning up videos so fast. And I'm waiting for a certain young lady just to kick her channel off, and she just will not do it.
Who?
Cheesy.
Oh, I know. Yep.
Yeah, Hardware Wars had a Wookiee monster, and it looked just like a Cookie Monster.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I'm ready to shut it down.
No, you're okay.
You're not going to run it for 4 hours?
Yeah, I gotta go pack up my stuff. I gotta go next door, and it's kind of chilly over there. So
I gotta pack my suitcase.
Okay,
I'm packing mine today.
Do what?
I said packing my suitcase today.
Yeah, but you should have a little bit more stuff than I know. You're going to be gone for a week. I'm only going to be gone for 3 days.
Yeah, I have a lot.
When are you leaving, Bridget?
December 4th.
Well, you got lots of time.
I have 2 weekends to pack. Well, you know what? I don't need my summer clothes here anymore, so I might as well pack them.
Oh, true.
So
I wouldn't take real real summer clothes.
no, it's gonna be in like the 70s, and then the 50s at night.
Oh, you can't. She's taking her bag. She's taking will have toiletries and some fresh drawers. That's all it's going to be because she's gonna buy everything else with Mickey and Minnie and Goofy
No,
and the rest
she's
of the
not.
gang out there.
I'm on a budget, Tom. I'm on a budget.
You're on a budget.
I'm trying to pay my credit cards off, not make more.
Well, just use your PayPal debit card. There's probably what, 50 grand on that sucker?
No, I don't. We do not touch our PayPal money until the end of the month. Then we cash it out and we split it up between the two of us. Our PayPal money stays in PayPal for the whole month.
I tried to do that, but I keep buying more stuff.
Well, I use we use our Discover card to source with because then we get the rewards, cash rewards or whatever.
You don't have a Minnie Mouse or a Mickey Mouse credit card?
Yeah, I have a Disney credit card.
I'm sure you're surprised you're not putting everything on that sucker so you get all those Disney points.
No, Discover's better.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they give you more money.
Yeah, but you could use free rooms down there.
I know.
Anyway, have a great day, guys.
Bye,
Have
guys.
a good day. Get your stuff done.
Have a wonderful
guys.
day, everybody.
Bye. Come on.